Have you ever had those feelings where you're like, you just can't get yourself to do anything? You lost motivation and you just slope around and you're in this like, you're not depressed, you're not excited, but you're in blah. Like, why do anything? What's the purpose of doing anything? And I can tell you, I've been there a number of times. Literally recently, I just got out of my like 4th rut. And what's funny is whenever I'm in a rut, I always go to YouTube and I search up how to get out of a rut. And I see all these different videos. And usually the videos are like hacks and tricks on how to be productive, like clean your room or do the 5-second rule where you just get up and just do things. And what's funny is every time I would try to do these little hacks, I would do it, I go to work, but then that blah, meh, what's the point of this kind of feeling comes back, and I go back to like feeling blah and sitting on the couch playing video games, doing nothing with my life and feeling bad and sulky and bad for myself, right? And so after the 2nd rut, I was like, I need to figure out how to get through it. And luckily I was able to find a way where if I do this, then that rut feeling is just gone and I'm back to being my optimal, best, productive, go get life, chase life self, and no more rut thing. And here's how I did it. This is what worked for me. It can be different for you, but let me share my journey. Whenever I'm in a rut, I notice that it's like a black, fuzzy hole of feelings, like jumbled up thoughts, and it's like, imagine a hairball all black and mushy just in my head, and I'm constantly in my head a lot about different thoughts, like, oh, what's the point of this if I do this, or this person thinks this and I'm sad, and it's just like this black hole of negative thoughts caught into my head. And whenever I try to do these productivity hacks and I'll go to work and I'm like, okay, back to being productive, the thoughts and everything jumbled up in my head just keep coming back and back and back, and eventually I get away from my laptop and back on the couch and start playing video games or something, right? Whatever it may be. And so I realized that the real issue is not my productivity or these like surface level things I gotta do to get back to being productive. The real issue is I need to address those jumbled up, deep underlying thoughts I have in me, get those flushed out of my system, and then I'll come back to like the regular, good, optimal state. And here's how I was able to do it. So the rut before the recent rut that I went through, this is gonna sound very woo-wah and very like, whoa, like spiritual, right? But trust me, it works. I was going through a rut and I messaged my WhatsApp group with my very, very close group of guy friends. And I was like, dude, guys, what's the point of everything? I feel so pointless. I'm shit at this and I don't even know why. I'm not motivated. Why am I even working hard? No one validates me. Like all these sulky, pity thoughts. Then one of my really good friend, called me and he's like, hey man, I think I get what you're going through. Can I actually lead you through an exercise that by the time you're done the exercise, you'll feel better about yourself? I'm like, you know what? I'm desperate. Let me try it. He's like, lay down, close your eyes, and think about the thoughts that are coming in your head. Literally just sit there for a second, for a minute. Just think about the thought that's coming in your head and what you feel. Now, close your eyes and tell me everything that's going on in your head. Tell me all the thoughts and flush it out of your system. And so I was telling him, yo, I'm bad at this, and when I do this, and he was like, yeah, And I just kept telling and verbally dumping all those fuzzball of thoughts out. Eventually, it was out of my system. Then he was like, okay, interesting. Now, what sort of feeling do you associate with these thoughts? Is there a certain feeling inside you? I'm like, yeah, I can kind of see the feeling. Yeah, I can feel it. He's like, great. Now I want you to express it. Is it a scream? Is it a sulk? Is it a like whatever it may be? You're in private, right? Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I'm in private. Okay, now just express the feelings. So I remember I was laying in bed, closed my eyes, and I was like, like I would, again, this sounds very woo-wah, but I would think about the feelings and it would make me feel a certain way, and I just expressed it out of my system. I expressed it out of my vocal cords. And eventually enough of the sound effects came out, right? And I opened my eyes after like a good 30 minutes and I felt lighter. I felt weightless. Like I felt all those burden of thoughts that were in my head just kind of went away. I'm like, oh, weird, I feel lighter for some reason. Well, let's see if this worked or something, but thanks, my friend, I appreciate this. The next day came, and it was like a switch went off in my head. No longer did I feel that ruddy, sulky, negative thoughts, black hole of thoughts kind of mood. No, none of that. Instead, I was productive. I got a lot of things done. I was like, I can't wait to tackle life. I was extremely productive. I was optimal. I was happy. I was meeting with friends. I was in love with the juice of life again. I was like, whoa, this is interesting. And when this recent rut that happened after that one, because I go through these ruts, the recent rut that happened is what I did was, this time instead of calling my friend and everything, I realized like, oh, maybe I just need to express these thoughts out. So what I did was I got a journal and I wrote down every freaking feeling that I felt, like, oh, this person's bad, this person doesn't validate me, I never get this, and blah, blah. All the sulky, shitty thoughts. I analyzed myself like a therapist and dug into every thinking why, like very deep into my own thoughts. No music, nothing, just me and my thoughts and that notebook. And I went for like pages and pages and pages and pages, and I was right. I swear to God, if someone reads that, they're gonna think I'm a psychopath or some weird guy or something, right? And I'm just going through the page. Then eventually I ran out of things to say because I felt like everything was flushed out of my brain. Then I went for a walk, got some ice cream. No, I didn't get ice cream, but I went for a walk, I got some water, and I relaxed. What's weird, interesting is that switch went off again. And I felt good about myself. I was smiling more. I started slowly, bit by bit, becoming a little more productive. And I started, again, that juice of life came back. Then I was like, hell, let me change my environment. So that's why I'm in this apartment. I'm actually visiting one of my best friends in Calgary because I want to change my environment. And I'm literally recording a video right now. When I was in my rut, the last thing I wanted to do was record this video. And so what's the takeaway here? You know, there's a lot of surface level tactics on how to deal with ruts, you know, like the clean your room, 5-second rule, or whatever it may be. Force yourself to do a cold shower. But unless you address the deeper underlying issue, which are just those jumbled up thoughts, if you don't express them out, whether it's through like therapy, whether it's through a friend you're vocalizing the sounds and thoughts through, or whether it's just a journal you're writing things down with, you gotta let those thoughts out and express them and flush them out of your system, because that's the poison that's holding you back. So that's my video, yo. That's how you get a rut. That's how I personally have got out of many ruts. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, comment down below how you personally get out of a rut yourself, and follow me on Instagram. I will see you in the next video. Peace, my friend.